Today we are talking furniture, antique furniture. Is it outdated? Is it just old? Or is it really valuable and we can retire and get that property in Montana?
That's right.
I'm with Dr. Lori Verderay, a noted, nationally, internationally known art historian, antique appraiser, PhD. Tell us about furniture. This old piece. It looks beautiful. I love it.
Okay. Do you want to repurpose it?
Meaning paint it?
Paint it, antique it, change it, make it different. Sure, right? What do you do first? Get an appraisal. Get an appraisal. Make sure. Don't let it go before you know what it's worth. Don't change anything before you know what it's worth. So at drloriv.com, you can send me a picture and I'll go, oh, yay or nay.
Okay, because you've seen people paint over valuable stuff and then they've ruined it.
And they've ruined it. Yeah.
Okay.
Now they have a different piece, yay, but having a different piece and losing a lot of money is not yay.
Okay, how do I know if it's valuable? I know a lot of people look inside a drawer.
Okay, so let's look at dovetails. So you're gonna have dovetails. What you're looking for is actually a hand-cut dovetail, which will indicate that the piece is usually older. Machine-cut dovetails, absolutely the same, because a machine will do something repetitious the same way. A hand won't, right? Your hand might move. So this is, of course, a hand-cut dovetail versus a machine-cut dovetail.
Older.
Usually it's older. Yeah, that means it's older.
Okay.
So, but you have to be able to recognize the dovetails. Other things you want to look for when you're looking at an object. First of all, you want to look if all the pieces match or if it's a marriage. Okay? Have two things come together that are not from the same period.
This looks all the same to me.
Okay, it's not.
Oh.
It's a marriage. So this particular portion is from one time period and the base is from another time period, okay? Now, here's the other thing. This part is Italian and this part is Italian, the marquetry work is Italian, and this form is Italian, and these are American. So the hardware has been changed out.
Wow.
Make sure you have the original hardware, okay? This is a very typically American form. And this form is not used for case furniture in a dining room. This form is used for bedroom furniture.
Okay. This had a lock on it, doesn't have it anymore. So now does that ruin the value of this piece?
Okay, well, the key is not there. That doesn't mean the tumblers aren't there. The tumblers are still there and they may work if you get the right key. That's a cellarette. It's used for alcohol, so it would have a lock on it. That helps to date the piece too. If you don't have the key, it devalues it a little bit, but you could get a key that does work.
Okay, I noticed that there's damage down. It looks like almost like a dog chewed it.
Yeah, dog chewed that. Those are encathus leaf pieces. You could see that on architecture, on buildings too, and then a cabriole, nice curved leg. So that leg dates to about 1880, whereas this rest of this piece dates to about 1920. And yes, if the dog has chewed up your leg of the furniture, it's going to devalue it.
Okay, I want to take you to another room and show you something else.
Okay.
Here's another piece of furniture. I was told this is a reproduction, not old. It's a secretary desk. Are people still wanting these big old secretary things?
Well, remember, you know, the form is nice and it takes up a nice part of the room, but certain pieces of antique furniture have lost their luster and collectors don't want them. Armoire is one of the things. Some armoires can have some value, but you know, the flat screen TV has ruined the armoire market because most of us had an armoire, put the big TV in it so you can hide the TV in the bedroom, closed up the doors, right? Well, the flat screen TV is now on the wall and you get rid of the armoire. So they went from being worth $5,000, $15,000 to worth $500.
Oh.
So sometimes when we change in technology, we have an impact like that. Change in technology, same thing here. When you have an antique baby high chair, you know, you have to remember that you can't just use these old pieces now for the kids because some of them are not safe. They're good looking and they're cute, probably worth about 125 bucks. But when people say to me, oh, you know, should I repurpose that? Well, you know, as the baby gets older, you might want to change it out.
Okay, and the same thing with beds, old beds from the 1840s. Are they worth anything?
Sometimes you have to look at the actual individual piece, you know, get an appraisal, drloriv.com. But remember, certain pieces are going to have a value depending on their actual condition and quality of materials. And other pieces you could repurpose.
And Dr. Lori, this was just an old cherry wood piece that the homeowner painted, and frankly not too well in places.
Well, you know, sometimes you have a weekend, you do it quickly. First thing you need to get, as I said, is an appraisal. So you know how much it's worth. It was worth about $150. So they might have said, okay, you know, it's a reproduction from the 1940s. I'm going to repaint it, have a burst of color. That's good. A couple things you want to always make sure that you do. This situation here, if you're going to do that, get the tape and do it properly. It's not difficult. Get the, you know, blue tape, painter's tape. The other thing is, don't go over the hardware because all the hardware does have its own value. You didn't go over the Batwing hardware there. You want to make sure that you don't go over the hardware. So don't just paint over pieces because it's hard to get that paint off after the fact. This is acrylic paint. So this particular paint, of course, is introduced after 1945. And that tells you a little bit about when you see a piece that has been repainted, how recently has it been repainted. So now, value now is actually increased a little bit, probably in the $300 range, because this is what is contemporary and this is what's in vogue now. Remember, trends matter.
Trends matter. Appraisals matter before somebody starts taking out the old paint can and giving it a spruce of color, because you don't want to cover up something George Washington had.
That's right. That's
Dr. Laurie, drlaurie.com. You're phenomenal. Great advice.
Thank
and
you.
we will see you next time on Trash or Treasure.